honestly don't have a whole lot of file size to work with because I only have 15 minutes left on my memory card right now until I start moving some files around on my other SD cards. For the most part, however, I'm just trying to start my morning a little slow. You know, I don't have my face in frame. You're just kind of watching exactly what I'm doing on the stovetop. Last night, I wasn't able to do that in my prior video log. I kind of had like a frame where it was really dark. And I kind of took that shot so that I could kind of, I had really good audio, but I didn't have any good like visuals to go with it, with what I was cooking. So now I'm kind of making something, you know, it's kind of similar to the bowl I had yesterday. I'm just getting like the various like ingredients into a tray and just frying them with sesame seed oil right now. So we got, you know, our bean stock right here. This comes in handy. So as you can see, we have the stalks of the bean. Now this is called a seasoned roiled fern. So it's the fern, it's like a certain type of vegetable that grows near mountains. And it's the fern plant. And ferns you can actually, like if you dry them correctly, you can eat them. And it tastes really good. So I'm gonna fry that real quick on the pan. See what I mean? Nice. I'm also gonna heat up some rice as well to go with it. I have some leftover rice from last night, just reheating it. Just getting it up to a warm heat, so I'm gonna put that on a low heat. Remember the mushrooms that I got? These are called enoki mushrooms. Technically, these are Japanese styled mushrooms. They're typically found inside of a ramen or inside of a what they call like a beef stews and stuff like that, Japanese style though. So these are enoki mushrooms. I could definitely use some of this going instead of a ramen or something like that. But in this case, I want it inside of my protein bowl. So you can imagine what I'm making right now is a very basic protein bowl, but in a Korean style. So evidently getting my enoki mushrooms into my bowl this morning. It's strictly optional. If I want to put the pepper paste in, I might not. I might just turn it into more of like a sesame seed, soy sauce based bowl, which I'll show you how that's done. Use a combination of butter. But we got some more ingredients to dump into our primary bowl right here. Kaboom! See what I'm saying? Fast and easy nutrition. Getting a little greasy real easy, but boom! Look at that. Fantastic. So we got that stuff. For this one, I think I want to go with marinated pork belly for the primary protein. Pork belly is really good, and you'll see just how much I like pork belly. In fact, on Wall Street, we say a word about you know, pork belly because of what? Pork belly futures. But in this case, I'm just eating the pork belly. Why do they call it pork belly futures though? It's because it's the approximate price of each belly of a normal sized pig. And so they measure it by the size of the belly, I guess, at one point in time. I know I was researching like agriculture and that's what it turned up. Like, why is the pork belly considered the most reliable area to measure the size of a pig's overall size? Is because a bigger stomach yields you know, a fattier, bigger pig. So butchers often study the genetics of the pork belly of the pig, I guess. Can I edit that out? Yeah, I will. Pork belly. Pork belly futures going for sale right here. There's your pork bellies. Your pork belly futures going into my pan. After you lost it all, you fucking losers on Wall Street. Unless you bought into the agricultural shortage. There was going to be a huge food shortage last year. People were so offended by this. And then here it hits. The price of pork right now is $5.99 per pound. So I'm just personal, I'm grateful every day I can eat food, I am grateful. A lot of people take that privilege they have for granted. But I'm not going to, because I'm pretty smart. So we're gonna use soy sauce and butter and chopped garlic to make the next part of our dish. And then the pork belly will be the primary source of protein. This isn't how it's done usually in Korea, but for me, for my protein bowl, this is how I'm doing it, because you know I have selection and variety and choice as far as like what ingredients I can use. So we're rolling again. There's not much more progress on the pork bellies. They're still getting cooked. I want them to cook thoroughly because it is pork belly. And, you know, nice and cooked. Also, I think another reason why people turn pork bellies into futures contracts is because technically the pork belly is where bacon is made. So bacon is the main commodity product of pork. And to get bacon, you typically slice up the pork underbelly of the butcher so that the pork belly is how you get the bacon to come out, or like the thicker cuts of bacon and stuff like that, basically. And so that's why pork belly futures really refer to the bacon market and how much consumers and wholesale producers are generally willing to buy and sell the price of bacon, which you just colloquially refer to as pork belly futures. And pork belly is basically bacon, but the belly side of it, on the bottom of the belly, where, you know, you guys get the drift, right? Okay. Did a little bit of research, or I just thought of a better way of saying the same exact thing. I don't know. Maybe a combination of both. We still have our vegetables that we put on the side right there. We love the pork. Oh my goodness. Yum, 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 yum. I think the pork belly will be done in a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to cook the eggs. So we're still building up the protein bowl. So, you know, for me to have a protein bowl that feels satisfying, I need to build it up with a lot of ingredients. All right, now for the fun part. We gotta chop it up on the cutting board as well, the pork belly. This is my protein bowl so far, but we still have a little bit more to go. Keep in mind, still haven't chopped the eggs yet. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh. The reason why I chop it is so that it's, you know, chewable bites inside the bowl. Like, you know, you don't want the whole entire flap you know, out there like that. You know, it's too big. So. Now you guys are probably wondering, you know, why leave that stove on, so I'm gonna have to slow that down a little bit. Technically, I want to pop some garlic though and dump it onto the stovetop so I can have some braised garlic as well to go inside, because that's instrumental to making this bowl work. You need a lot of garlic actually as the main herb, and then you need soy sauce and a lot of butter. And this is authentically a Korean style bowl, so don't even pull the, oh, it's not even Korean enough. Like, give me a break. Kablamo. So we have a lot of meat, delectably chopped up as pork belly, but it's flat, it's thick. It's thick. It's thick pork belly fat. It makes it really good. Now the rice is hot enough. We got some rice. But I still need the garlic, so I'm gonna chop up some garlic. You can imagine why I had this prepared already. Because I don't have time to peel garlic while I ingredient switch so much on camera. It's just too much pain in the ass to peel. Spend the extra time also having to peel as well the garlic, but we need some chopped pieces of garlic. A decent chunk, like 6 or 7 or 8, you know? This is Korean food. This ain't Gordon Ramsay cooking for you, okay? Don't, like, oh, but the garlic might be overpowering. Like, shut, it's just, Gordon, if you're watching right now and you're critiquing my cooking, I am gonna pimp slap one of your chefs at one of your stupid ass restaurants. Okay, so we got the garlic, we're chopping it up, getting it nice and minced real quick. Kind of chunky, but not too chunky. You kind of want it to hit on the fucking pan for a little bit, for about 60 seconds to about 3 minutes or so. I just need it to be like, hey, like, it's been on the pan, it's been seasoned with some sesame seed oil, a bit braised and cooked, and ready to go. Let's get this going over here. The garlic on the pan, and that's just going to be tossed up on here real quick, as you can see, the garlic. So that's just going to be for like 3 or 4 minutes. Probably throw in some sesame seed oil on top of that. Has the right flavor profile for what I'm supposed to be looking for. Then we have the sesame, you know, we have the soy sauce, right? This goes on top of this. So I'm making this, and you dump in the soy sauce like that, okay? This is how I do it. You can do it a different way, I don't care. You judge me, you say whatever you want, I don't care. So this is the way it is. Got some soy sauce inside of your garlic. Now, more sesame seed oil. A lot. This is how you make the base of this particular sauce that goes with the rice. Now the rice is heated up nice and warm. We can add it to the bowl. All right, now the combination sauce is going down, right? The sesame seed oil, garlic, and there's just one more key ingredient though. It has some egg and some butter. In this case, we have whipped salted butter, Lando Shark. Has you seen that? Okay. So in Korean cuisine, we drop the chunk of butter completely on top. So it mixes in just like that. Nothing too crazy and fancy about it. We just need a lot of butter to make this margarine rice work perfectly along with the sesame seed and the soy sauce. So now that you have it like this, now we start mixing it up. The butter's inside of there, and mixed into like multiple cubes, chunks. There's pork belly, there's a protein source for me. And as a topper, just gotta cook 2 eggs and put it up on top. And that is how I make my Korean protein bowl of the day. Authentically Korean, soy sauce type, using various mixture of bean sprout is key. You also want to have some fern. So we got the margarine rice with the soy sauce and the garlic in. We have our pork bellies inside the mix, Korean style pork belly. Marinated in Korean sauce. And we have our vegetables mixed in as well, and it's mixing pretty well here. So for the most part, I'm liking this a lot. I just need to get the eggs to go on top. So, 1 second. Oh yeah. And then to top it all off, to make this bowl look more appeasing or appetizing, I typically like to add some egg on top to add to the aesthetic pop. So they're not perfectly formed eggs by no means, but it just gives it some added like, hey, oomph to it as far as like a bowl. It feels like a very, very complete bowl, but it also tastes very. So take you guys over here. You guys can see kind of what I think about it. Let's see. That is a protein bowl. That is the type of protein bowl that you can only make at home. I don't think it's possible to make something this good without being able to cook each individual ingredient. Step by step, you got the fern, right? You got the fern, you got the bean sprout, you got the rice, the garlic, the butter, the pork belly, the egg, mixing together, coming together in my mouth. It's There's nothing quite like that. It is so good. It's absolutely incredible. This is how I make my protein bowls. When I don't want it to be spicy, this is a Korean style protein bowl you can count on. Oh, and then I get the nice view. And believe it or not, while I'm talking to you, I have the most amazing views. I like the Hollywood sign from where I live. So as long as, you know, the clouds aren't blocking, I get to see Hollywood while I'm busy filming and eating the food. I'm telling you the truth right now, not even making it up. The key about this bowl is that you notice there's no kimchi. There's nothing spicy inside of it. It's a very smooth, buttery soy sauce, salty taste flavor profile that just oozes, like with so much power, and it's just so good that I honestly would say, if you have to make a protein bowl at home, try the Korean method I showed you. You know, go to a Korean grocery market, pick up the various ingredients. You know, my grocery bill yesterday that you saw was only like $80, and some people might say $80 is a lot of money, but again, I could go to a Korean restaurant only twice for 80 bucks, or I can cook and take you guys on my cooking journey, so you guys can say, oh, so that's how you make the authentic Korean food at home. So you don't have to spend, $125 at a Korean restaurant or something in downtown LA. It's kind of funny. I watched this video yesterday where there was this girl that was ranting about how the LA tipping culture is messed up or whatever. And I'm like, hey, if you can't afford to eat at a restaurant, there's a lot of people that cannot because they have cash constraints or something, consider cooking some more at home if you can. Please think about it. If you don't like eating out, cook at home, save some money. I always tip my waiters. I tip my waiters an extra $10. Okay, to tell you the truth, at one point, I told you guys in a separate video that I was a waiter on Hollywood Boulevard, a sushi restaurant waiter. And I will tell you right now, in Los Angeles, the average tip size for an upscale restaurant is $8. The average size. If you want to impress the waiter a bit more, you add $20 for your tip. If you want to look passable, give them $3.50. But if you want to be right in the middle, you give them $8 to $10 for your tip. That's how you tip in Los Angeles. Coming from a waiter that worked on Hollywood Boulevard.
at one of the best Japanese restaurants.
So I'm heading out to clean another client's house. Hopefully, this person actually shows up and we're able to deal with somebody that's not Airbnb for this week. So hopefully we have a normal cleaning. That's gonna be phenomenal. And I'm gonna be on Wilshire Boulevard this time. So Wilshire is a very interesting spot in town. It's where it's the Wilshire Strip. But yeah, let's head out. Let's go and explore the town and do some work, I guess. Today the client was actually nice enough to let us film while we're cleaning. We have a lot of chunky stuff on the floor for the most part. From my perspective though, the way I like to deal with this is before you bust out the vacuum, sweep up all the stuff off the floor before everything starts to clog your vacuum, okay? I don't want to explain this again to everybody that works at my business, so I prefer showing is better than saying. So in this case, lots of stuff, lots of debris on the floor. I prefer sweeping. So we sweep it up, we get rid of a bunch of stuff first, and then vacuum. Don't start vacuuming until after you sweep at least a little bit. In a case like this, so for the most part, we're getting much of the dust off the floor, make it look a lot better and cleaner. All right, so first step is complete. We swept everything. Now keep in mind, with the brush, you usually don't, sorry, I have another random phone call coming in. So with the brush, the biggest downside is that it doesn't suck up all the dust. So I tell my employees, sweep and then vacuum. So remember, don't forget to sweep and then vacuum. If I see people just sweeping and they don't vacuum, that's a problem too. you forgot the vacuuming part. So it's a perfect example for me right here. Just a lot of debris, some stuff stuck to the floor. It's like some bird poop. That's okay. There's a pet bird in this house, which is completely adorable, by the way. But it's step by step. You have to do it this way. Otherwise, the result's inconsistent. And, so hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. Now this is my approach to cleaning floors. First, I like to sweep it. Then we try to go in for the vacuum. And then we scrape some items off the floor so that it comes out looking a lot better. And then after we're done scraping the items off the floor, we go back and we do the vacuum part again. So this is a great example case. Like there's a lot of people that just come off the street and they try to work for my business. And I figure like if I edit this footage for like my company website and then maybe edit it separately for my video log, but for the most part, let's start the vacuuming right now.
All right, the lighting's better in this case. So, much better. So, step by step, you guys saw that, right? So you first sweep everything up and then you vacuum, okay? Please do it in that order. I've seen people do it the wrong way and all it does is clog up the vacuum. So, all right, so you guys have managed to see my step 2 in the floor cleaning process. Now, for the third step, and this is crucial, I prefer you guys soften the floor up a little bit with some cleaning product and a Swiffer pad. Swiffers move quickly through floors like this. So right now, you might be thinking, well, why not just use a full-blown mop head? And the reality is, we just need to get the floor wet a little bit and sanitized. And from there, I'm gonna scrape things off, which I'll show you. So we have stuff stuck to the floor. You might notice it if I zoom a bit more. I'm just trying to get this to a point where you guys understand, like, we're deep cleaning right now. I expect when people deep clean that they clean the floor because there's stains and stuff on the floor. Like this. So actually take a look at this floor and tell me, is that appropriate to leave behind at a client's house? And the answer is no, of course not. So here's how we deal with it. It's like we first go in, I like to mop this thing. It's just to make it so that it's a wetter, smoother environment. It's not going to take everything off. For the most part, at least get it wetted a bit, right? Wetten the floor down a bit. Wetten the weird stuff in the spots so that, you know. So, you guys see that? Kind of mopping away here at some of these tougher stains. And I'm trying to set the camera up so it's like looking at the right stuff, but here we go. See that? It's that weird stuff that's just stuck to the floor. So you want that to come off. So for the most part, we go in, we're mopping, we're getting rid of some of it, right? But it's not going to get rid of all of it. Obviously not, because some of this stuff is kind of stuck pretty, pretty much, just stuck. Okay, so here's what I do. A putty knife, okay? See this, putty knife. Okay, very simple. Don't use something that looks too sharp, okay? So I've seen people, some of my workers, they come in and they're like, oh, I'm brilliant, I know how to scrape things off. Of course we do. But use something that looks less menacing. Like, don't pull out a freaking 12-inch buck knife and start scraping the floor with it, okay? Use a putty knife, use a basic scraping device that looks like a normal scraping device. I don't want to see you guys going and showing up at people's houses and pulling out pocket knives to scrape the floor. There's a very specific type of device I want you to use, okay? Because otherwise, you'll start scaring the clients and they're gonna think, why in the hell are you using something like a lethal weapon to get something off my floor? Use something more like a putty knife, okay? Something that looks more like an industrial tool used to scrape things, and not something like your pocket knife. Don't use some stupid, don't use your fingernails, okay? That doesn't look professional in front of clients. Don't do that either, okay? So this is essential. I get disgusted each time I have to show people this. And I've hired over 40 workers in Los Angeles alone, locally. And I've had to run the same routine and show them over and over again exactly how to clean correctly, because they don't know. Or if they do know, they know their version of cleaning growing up, but it's not the type of cleaning where people are like, I depend upon that as a service. Like, depend upon that as a service means you know exactly what you're doing, So, right here as well, there's some more stuff stuck to the floor. And the way I deal with it is, yet again, as I scrape it off, like this, okay? Nice and simple. Don't overthink it. So you'd be better off, okay, running around the house doing something like this, and then using your Swiffer mop to just kind of disinfect and wipe over the area. And do this to scrape some weird thing off, okay? And then wipe it like that, You guys see what I'm doing here? I don't want you guys doing anything else. Gets clogged after that. So you don't want to clog your vacuum, because if you put a bunch of wet stuff into your vacuum, okay, right after you're done mopping, and then you vacuum right after where you mop, unless you have a wet vacuum, which most people don't, you have a normal consumer vacuum, what's going to happen is that you're going to clog your vacuum basically, and you don't want to clog your vacuum. Every minute wasted on trying to maintain your tools and trying to make them so that they work is time wasted. So you just wasted more time because you broke a vacuum, because you either clogged it with a bunch of wet, dry wet debris. So for right now, here we go. So there's just a little bit more in this section of the room. And it's very easy to take care of, but you have to do it a certain way. If you do it a different way, you end up breaking your back. You end up, having to scrub with a brush for a really long period of time. And then it doesn't even look that sanitary to people when they see you do it. They're like, oh, like if you leave behind some weird stuff, and this weird stuff on the floor still, they'd be like, oh man, like why'd I pay for this? So this is how I like to deal with those type of weird situations on the floor, The floor looks way, way better, completely clean in this section, right? We have other parts where, you know, it's not finished, or like we haven't done anything there yet, but where it matters, it's like, oh look, but now we have leftover debris, so we're gonna vacuum this part up. Oh, here comes the vacuum to kind of get rid of everything that kind of stuck right there. Alright guys, so I'm gonna pick a different angle here. The light's just not working with me that well from right there. So hopefully you guys kind of noticed a bit as to how you can efficiently clean floors with a lot of stuff stuck to it.
Oh, okay, let me go.
Well, what are you doing?
Well, the cleaning almost went perfectly up until the mom showed up. And then when the mom showed up, she got really nitpicky. So then, it doesn't always go your way in this business, guys. I'm telling you. Like sometimes you do a great job as a client, like as a service provider, but they'll just be like, no, I don't give a crap about what you did for work earlier. I still think you could have done more, and I still feel like I paid you too much for it. So goodbye. So that can happen to you. It happened to me today. And you know, I'm just gonna head home and just focus on my other work that I have to take care of, you know. So
anyhow, guys, check this out. So we got chicken, and we're gonna go with the marinated chicken. So even though the customer was disappointed and they didn't like the service, I feel like I would just retreat, go back home, have some good food to myself, relax. You know, at least I got paid money. You know, they paid me money, so you know, not completely evil, just a bit of a terrorist on the way out. You know, towards me. You know, I don't know why some customers are so difficult. You know. But other than that, I think I'm going to title this video Cooking Lots and Lots of Korean Food, because yesterday I think I cooked myself with the protein bowl, and today I cooked myself some chicken. But this isn't like don't get me wrong, this is Korean chicken, so it's more like the Korean barbecue seasoning sauce on the chicken. So think of like the Korean style barbecue sauce, but instead being put on the chicken. So for me, that seems appropriate. Because I'm just eating on my own right now and I eat that much more chicken. So, but also eating a lot, you know. So, just to stay, you know, physically like fit so I can complete my job, do the work correctly. Kind of hope that makes sense to you guys. Gonna make some good rice as well. I just want to mix it up a little bit. I'm reheating some rice that I cooked from yesterday, so gonna have like a quick meal to myself. I don't know, guys. I wish I had much more for this episode as far as substance, but I don't. Not to mention, I think only Korean people will care about Korean food, so. I'm gonna assume a lot of you are gonna be meeting me for the first time, and I'll be the Korean American equivalent of an ajashi or an oppa to you. So. And if you're Japanese, Ohio gozaimasu desu ka? If you're Korean, Anyonghesayo. But yes, domo arigatou gozaimasu desu ka? 내 이름은 Alex Cho예요. 도모 arigatou. Hi. Hello, my name is Alex. Welcome to my YouTube channel, everybody. I sure hope you guys stuck around to this point because, man, it does kind of get a bit dreary and boring sometimes in my vlog because I live a very, very well, kind of like a predictable life, but I hope to like spice it up and make it interesting with, you know, some good storytelling and some good filmography to go with it, you know? I wish I could say something that complicated to you all in Korean or Japanese. I just can't. 네, 한국말 한국말 조금만 해요. 죄송합니다. 아이고, 미국에 자라난 사람이니까. 맨날 한국말 so I don't speak Korean every day, basically. So I don't have the time or energy. I expect you to be that foreigner that knows English in Korea. Give me a break. I was born in America. But I do plan on taking some Korean and English classes. So it's like I said. The clients still paid me, but like I said, it is what it is. I just hope they don't have anything bad to say about me. I mean, I did kind of lecture them out of the door, out my way out of the door. That lady was mean. She was like wearing this apron and all, and I honestly thought she was like some housekeeper that was just trying to bust my balls on their way to like take over or something. You know, weird stuff going through this lady's head or something like that, but. For the most part, this is the nature of the services business. Like a lot of customers don't always convert into regular customers and then make the confrontation or the experience of dealing or working with them awkward on purpose. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. I'll just keep searching for more customers and keep, you know, marketing and growing my business regardless, you know. It doesn't bother me, you know. You find a guy that comes in and you know, figures out a way to scrape your floor and get rid of all the weird stuff without damaging your stuff and making it look really nice and neat, and that's, you know, not good enough. Compared with a bunch of other cleaning that I did to make sure the whole place looked really phenomenal and stuff like that. But even then, it's just whatever. I'm getting kind of salty right now. For the most part, you know, for my Asian viewers, I'm a local business owner based out of Los Angeles. You know, I cook Korean food on this channel. I work. I show you guys my work. I do different business experiments. Sometimes I ask random people on the street like questions and stuff like that. You'll see. a lot of really interesting stuff. So I just ask you guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're watching this video. It would mean a lot to me, especially if are like, you know, for those of you that are international viewers, you know, it might just be very hard to run into me again if you do like watching this type of video log content, and I encourage you guys to continue following me. But yeah, with that being said, let's continue with cooking the chicken and the kimchi and stuff. Cooking the kimchi and the chicken. Thanks for following me along, following along with me, guys. Thank you so much. 안녕하세요. 저는 부른 한국 사람들. 내 이름은 알렉성초예요. 나는 로스앤젤레스 나 지금 로스앤젤레스에 살아요. 저는 30. 네. 그러니까 내 age 30예요. 네. 그러니까 그러니까 내 나이 30예요. 그렇지. 그러니까 오하루오로만 아니라 한국말 그러니까 한국말 그렇게 잘 못해요. 감사합니다. Thank you for watching this episode 어떻게 말해요? 한국말 episode 이거 써봐. 한국말 조금 해요. 꼭 subscribe 해요. 꼭 subscribe 그 subscribe 버튼 주물르면 너무 구독하다보다 그러니까 구독하다 부탁해요. 그래요. 네, 구독하다 유튜브에 꼭 구독하다 아니면 subscribe 꼭 해요. 그래 나 개새끼 알렉스 초예요. 꼭 subscribe 해요. 네 감사합니다. 네 감사합니다. 네 감사합니다. 네 일본인の方はチャンネル登録してください。日本人の方はチャンネル登録してください。日本人の方はチャンネル登録してください。Ohio. I will learn Japanese one day, but for now, welcome to my English channel. That's the most Japanese I will try to manage for you. Ohio gozaimasu. 채널을 와 돌아서 개새끼들 참나. 일본인 너 갔다 와 채널을 돌아오고 싶대 그다사이 개새끼들. Fuck you, subscribe motherfuckers. Still got a ways to go, but the chicken looks a lot more cooked to me, and Alright guys, so I want to throw in another thing. So I really do have 2 guests checking in tomorrow. They say they have a rabbit. I can't wait to see who they are. And another thing is, I have to check them in correctly, and if they turn out to be hostile towards me or very weird or awkward, then it'll be another failed check-in, which is another thing I talked about on the prior episode, which I could point out right here. But for the most part, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, they'll take some compromises in the living situation so I have some time to improve upon the circumstances. There's something wrong with the bathtub plumbing over there. Something wrong with the water heater. I'm going to install a makeshift electric shower to make the shower like have hot water and stuff. So I'm nearly done with cooking all this. I just, you know, it's just the rice that's left. Some fresh jasmine rice. I feel like going out and grabbing some more groceries tomorrow. I think I got it. Okay. So, edited out a lot of footage there, but very close to teriyaki chicken. Look at if you live in LA, you'll have really good Korean food. You will not be disappointed. Mukbang. That's so good. Welcome to my channel if you're new. The cucumber kimchi. So good! 감사합니다. Oh, kimchi from the gods. And then if you mix like the Korean sauce into the rice like this, it's like, oh! It's just like that nice kimchi rice like sauce going in. Very good. So if I get the editing thing down right correctly, I want to get my daily episodes up to like a production quality that's like the show 24/7. Telling you guys I'll be that good. This is so good. That is really good. Like the freshness of the cucumber and the freshness of the radish. Alright guys, that about does it. I'm full. I have a lot of video editing that I need to do, so I'm gonna focus on that for the rest of the day, so I can at least put out my Korean food episode, because man, I love Korean food. Korean food fills my soul just as much as Mexican food, just as much as American food does. Alright guys,